Hello. So, I have an exciting announcement to make. I'm going to be starting my very own podcast. And this podcast is going to be called Codecs and Rookies, a Metal Gear podcast. I released a episode 0 as sort of like a test to see whether or not I could do the show by myself. And I quickly discovered that I really couldn't. Um, and so this has been in the work for months, and I've been looking for a co-host, and I've found one. I don't know if he wants me to use his real name or not, so I won't mention his name just yet. Um, but we're both very excited to start the show. Um, Basically, season 1 of the show will cover the games that are considered canon. So it'll be Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Solid 4, Metal Gear Peace Walker, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, and last but not least, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So I intend for this to be a monthly podcast. Um, each month we'll be discussing each game as we make our way through the series. And it'll be sort of done in an analysis format. So we'll be going over the story, the development, the design, the music. And, you know, I've spent the past couple of years listening to multiple gaming podcasts, and I've really grown to appreciate more the work and care that goes into video games, not only their design but their story as well. Um, and I think the granddaddy of all video game podcasts to me is Ultima Final Fantasy. Caleb and Joe, Caleb and Joe, the hosts of Ultima Final Fantasy, I think are masters um, in that format. And I've been wanting to do something similar, but I wanted to put my own spin on it. My Final Fantasy is my favorite video game franchise, but I was like, maybe I should do something that I know very little to nothing about. Um, so if you're coming to Codex and Rookies hoping for a playthrough with people that know the games super well, you're not going to get that. Now, my co-host has played most of these games, and he's certainly more knowledgeable about the story and the lore than I am. Um, Not to speak too much for him, but I've never beaten any of these games or played any of them from start to finish. The only ones I've played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid. Like I've played maybe the first 2 or 3 hours, and then I played about 6 or 7 hours of the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. So that's basically been my experience. Um, so I thought that this would be a unique experiment to sort of go through the series as a newbie and have a co-host that is somewhat familiar with the games. Um, and if the podcast is successful enough, I would love to do a season 2. And basically, what that would be the spin-offs and the non-canon games. So that would be like Snake's Revenge, Ghost Babel, Twin Snakes, Acid 2, Portable Ops, Metal Gear Survive, and the remake of 3. My biggest hope is that they release Volume 2 of the Metal Gear Solid collection and release some of those games that would be in Season 2 for modern consoles, which would save me quite a bit of coin, so I don't have to go out and buy a PSP and whatever else I'll need to play these other games. So, um, for sure, we'll be playing through the games I mentioned for Season 1. So where can you find the show? You'll be able to find the show for sure on YouTube. I'll have a link in the description. And you'll also, I plan on streaming my playthrough of these games on Twitch. You can also find that link in the description. And then once we launch the podcast, the episodes will be available, like I said, on YouTube, and I'm hoping to also put them on Audible and Spotify and some other places too. Once I can find sort of a streamlined way of doing that. Um, but the Codecs and Rookies YouTube channel has been up and running for a couple weeks, and I really want to hit big with this thing. And what I mean by that is I want to put my best foot forward to make the show as enjoyable and reach as many people as possible, um, to make this a fun experience. So I'm hoping to also have a Discord server and a Facebook page and some other stuff too. Um, but we'll also have an email for the show, because I'd love to have like a questions and answers section, and maybe in between games, we can also do guest episodes. I have a lot of ideas, and I'm excited to make this a reality. Um, so stay tuned. We're hoping to have our first episode out by the beginning of next year and to hit the ground running. So thank you, and I hope that you're excited and that this will be a fun experience for Metal Gear fans, both new and old.